So it was late summer, 1976. Billy and I had been together quite a while, and we just spent probably one of the best summers of my life together. The summer was filled with camping and swimming and jumping trains and roller skating and seeing movies and listening to some great music. We were hanging out at my house, in my room. Well, it's my brother's in my room. We shared bunk beds. I was the bottom bunk. And Billy and I were on the bunk. Both of us were laying back with our heads against the wall and our feet on the floor. Of course, Billy's right leg was draped over mine and our arms were touching. And we were just talking about the summer and the next year of school, which was my senior year. We got quiet for a moment. Billy turned his head to me and he said, "I've got to tell you something." When people start a conversation like that, it's rarely good. He said, "My father is making me move to Wisconsin." You know how you hear something that's such a shock you don't believe it was actually said or you were hearing it wrong? That was me. I sat there in shock. Billy repeated, "We have to move to Wisconsin." And I asked, "When?" And he said, "Soon." When the reality hit me, tears started streaming down my face, and then he started crying. Not audibly, but the tears were coming. You could have punched me in the gut and it would have hurt less. He put a good spin on it. He said we would write every week and we would make phone calls, and he said it was probably good because he really wanted to build a better relationship with his dad. We said we'd make the best of it and our plan still held. We would leave together the moment we could. I get a pit in my stomach even when I'm talking about this. We did write letters every week for a long time. They became a little bit less frequent, but we kept writing. I got rid of some of them because they had incriminating evidence, and later on, a little over a year later, I destroyed some of them because I was angry. But I have some still. One of the earlier ones, maybe the earliest, I remember very clearly he wrote something about not getting along with his dad very much, but also that there were more bars in La Crosse, Wisconsin than there were churches. I loved getting his letters. And he would call, collect sometimes, which you have to remember in the 70s, phone calls, especially long distance, were very expensive, especially for a teenage boy. He would call, we'd talk 3 to 5 minutes or so, and maybe three or less, actually. I loved hearing his voice. It kept me going. I wrote him that I was getting interested in the Mormon church. He wasn't that excited about that, but hey, the whole world hated us for who we were, so didn't think much of it. And that continued for quite a while.